So, which teams that made the playoffs last year could miss out this year? Conversely, what teams that missed out last year on the playoffs could make it this year? And with the two big re signings for the defending champs, are they still the team to beat in the NFC? Well, we'll try to figure out the answers to those questions and many others as we bring you another edition of a very busy off season here. But there's no off season on this show. It's Fantasy Football Fever. It starts right now.
15 seconds to air. Stand by, all cameras.
Ready with slow motion and isolated cameras.
Stand by, videotape, and roll tape.
And tape is rolling in less than 5, in 3, 2, 1.
Take tape.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Fantasy Football Fever. It is June 12th, 2022. I mean, I can't believe we're already almost halfway through this entire year. I mean, this year has just gone by pretty quickly. So, I hope everything's good where you are. My name is Tim McClellan. Looks like it's just going to be the two of us today. My buddy over here, Mr. John Natali, our lead commissioner. How you doing, John?
Great. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, absolutely a privilege. We have been just talking and talking about different things to talk about while the off season is going on here in the NFL. Mandatory mini camps are going on, and I think there's still OTAs and mandatory mini camps. Yeah, we're just getting ready for the 2022 NFL season, and it's getting there. It's getting pretty close. So,
less than 100 days.
Yep, less than 100 days away from the start of the season, and I'm ready for it, and I'm sure all of you are. We have no idea where our good friend John Flynn is. He's not able to be here tonight, but that does not give you people any reason to not listen to Hooked on Sports with John Flynn. You know, we got those links down in the description area here, so click one of those three links and you'll be able to hear John Flynn. He's got I think he's still doing like 2 shows, maybe every other week. I don't know, but
at least 2 a week or so. Probably like between 2 and 4 shows a month, I would say.
Right, but of course during the NFL season, he's got 2 podcasts per week. So, y'all check him out. So, first thing I want to talk about, the defending champs, the Rams. They re-signed 2 of their biggest players, their best offensive player and their best defensive player.
Oh yeah, Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp.
That's right. So once again, the Cup will runneth over in Los Angeles. So I'd say they're pretty much still the team to beat in the NFC.
Absolutely. Yeah, Cooper's definitely earned his due. Right now he's ranked the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy.
Oh yeah.
And, and last I checked, I want to say somewhere between number 2 and number 5 overall.
2 and 5 overall, but number 1 and the wide receivers. So
yes.
Yeah, and we plan to do on a show here in the near future, within a month or so. We're going to be doing some fantasy rankings and see how everybody stacks up going into fantasy season.
All right.
Basically, the main thing that we're going to be talking about tonight is last year's playoff teams that could miss out this year. And we're going to go ahead and start with that. I copied down a list here from this one website. I can't remember what website it was.
Yeah, mine just came up off the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used my personal opinion. I guess we could do one at a time, I guess, and maybe we'll have repeats. We'll see. We'll see if any of ours are the same.
Well, who knows? Let's start with this team. A team that missed the playoffs last year that could get in this year. One team on this list, the Washington Commanders.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it says despite being 7-9 and 7-10 in the last 2 seasons, it'll be a return to the playoffs, which is hard to believe. They haven't had a 500 record. Of course, They beefed up their interior offensive line in free agency with Andrew Norwell and Trey Turner. Defensive front is as good as any in football when their entire defensive line is healthy. Receiver room is getting a massive boost from rookie Jahan Dotson, which was the Commanders' top draft pick this past year. So it looks like right now on paper, once again, it will probably be a race between either the Cowboys and the Eagles for the NFC East. But right here, it says basically saying you might want to keep an eye on those Commanders. But the one person that really needs to step up, of course, is their quarterback, Carson Wentz. So what do you say about that, Natalie?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I didn't realize they made the playoffs last year. I completely forgot. So I guess 3 teams from the East must have made it then.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I didn't write them down, but that's a very interesting pick. I mean, I'm just going to go out and say I do have at least one team from the East that I think made it last year that could miss out this year, but we'll get into that later. But I think you know where that's going, though, based on what I said.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll explain my list after. But who do you have as your number? Who do you have as number 2 now?
Well, these are not in any particular order.
Right.
The next team is the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, an interesting one. Yeah, I considered that.
Yeah, it says here they made the playoffs since 2018. They're entering the 3rd year of the Justin Herbert era, and expectations in Los Angeles are high. They have an MVP caliber quarterback, Justin Herbert, former Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
They got some legitimate Pro Bowl weapons. They got Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. They have a defensive-oriented coach, Brandon Staley. He's got a lot of pieces to work with. They got J.C. Jackson, Khalil Mack, and Bryce Callahan to boost up their defense. So they say that the Rams are pretty much contenders again, but don't overlook the Chargers.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think, yeah, I was considering putting the Chargers on my list, but I didn't put them. I can actually see the Chargers missing out. That's certainly a possibility because the Broncos have improved. Because, yeah, they got Russell Wilson as their quarterback now. So, actually, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos end up winning the division and the Chiefs finishing second. And, I mean, even the Chargers could finish last. I could see that argument right there.
Wait a minute. Am I going through the right list? I'm going through teams that missed last year that could get in this year.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood you.
Sorry about that. So we got the Commanders.
Oh, okay, so we're starting with the ends. Gotcha.
Yeah. We're going with the ones who go in. Commanders, Chargers. What about the Minnesota Vikings?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I definitely did not have them on the list. What's your paper say about that?
Yeah. Obviously, they're going to need more out of Kirk Cousins, especially given what they paid and are paying him. Supporting cast may not be perfect every year. The Vikings get stuck having to deal with injuries just like any other team. So there's a lot to like about this Minnesota roster if they can stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, pretty much the division leaders pretty much has been Green Bay for a good part of the last few years, and
they could be in trouble without their main weapon, Devontae Adams.
Yeah, they could be. So,
although I didn't put them on my list, I do agree that they're a legitimate threat.
Yeah, they could be, and I'm kind of leaning toward the fact that this may be Aaron Rodgers' final year.
Absolutely,
either in the NFL or in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So, you mentioned the Broncos. They said Broncos could make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I have the Broncos. I do have the Broncos on my list as well. But especially Russell Wilson at the quarterback, and they have a solid running back combo with Melvin Gordon and what's his name, Javonte Williams.
Yeah, Vic Fangio is gone, but now they have a new coordinator Ejiro Evero.
Hmm.
Guess that's how you pronounce his name. So hopefully a change of coordinators will do them good. So Broncos maybe winning the division. That is, I could
I,
see that. I mean,
yeah, I actually do see. I could definitely see that as a possibility since the Patrick Mahomes lost his main weapon in Tyreek Hill.
right,
He
right.
moved over to the Dolphins.
Yeah, yeah. Not only did Patrick Mahomes lose a great weapon to the Dolphins, but of course the Cowboys lost a good weapon to the Dolphins. That was be Cedric Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So no, Cedric. No, that was Wilson.
Cedric
Cedric
Wilson.
Wilson. Cedric Wilson. I kind of still don't have any idea why the Cowboys had to get rid of Wilson. He was a pretty good, pretty strong number 3. I think it was number 3 or number 4 receiver, but he was pretty good when he was on the field.
Wow.
This one, I may be skeptical on this one. Of course, it's the beginning of a new era down in the Big Easy.
Hmm.
Yeah, talking about the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, that one was a tough one for me. I don't have them on my list, but that's actually a really tough one.
Made a trade to acquire two first round picks. Instead of moving up for a quarterback, they moved up and got 2 impact starters on wide receiver Chris Olave as well as offensive tackle Trevor Penning. Michael Thomas coming back from injury. Hopefully he can get his game back up and going. Because
and then they still have a quarterback situation. Is it going to be Jameis Winston? Is it going to be Taysom Hill?
Winston or
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill, yeah. I don't know of anything right now. And of course, the Saints did get the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, out of Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. So that's a good upgrade on their defensive side.
Yeah, and another team that I've got good making the playoffs this year, maybe the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have them on my list too. I think that's more of a would of. I think that's more of a will make the playoffs, not so much a could. I think that's the most out of everybody we said so far. I think they're the most likely to make it.
Probably most likely team. I would agree. I mean, this has got to be a big year for Lamar Jackson. Probably a make or break year here.
Mm-hmm.
Touchdown percentage. His touchdown percentage increased from 6.9 in 2020 to 4.2 in 2021. Meanwhile, his interception percentage rose from 2.4 in 2020 to 3.4 in 21. 2 rushing touchdowns in 12 games last year compared to 7 rushing touchdowns in 15 games in the 2020 season. So that 2019 season, he needs to have another one of those. He had over 1,200 rushing yards, 43 total touchdowns, only threw 6 interceptions, sacked only 23 times, but he had it going. So if he can have another season this year like he did in 2019, I will definitely give a thumbs up to the Ravens on making the playoffs.
Yeah, not only making the playoffs, they win the division too.
Oh yeah, winning the division as well.
Yeah, I think they could definitely easily win the division because the Browns have obviously taken a step back. I think they're a clear last place team right now.
Yeah, I'm afraid to say the Steelers are going to be stepping back.
Yep, I was about to mention that. Yeah, especially Ben Roethlisberger retired. We don't know who the quarterback is going to be yet.
And I could probably see maybe Cincinnati maybe getting it as a wild card, but at least finishing second in the AFC North.
Yes. Yeah, I do see that as of right now, but obviously our minds could very well change. Depends on if anybody gets injured, if there's trades that occur during the offseason, things like that.
All right. Well, that was my list of the teams that missed the playoffs last year that could get in this year. Now, you said you have the Ravens.
Yeah, we had 2 names that matched. Like we had the Broncos and the Ravens that matched. Let's see. One dark horse team that I have that could make it is, let's say, the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
Yeah, because they definitely upgraded.
Oh, yes, they upgraded on the offense.
Yeah, getting Tyreek Hill, that's big. I mean, yeah, New England, the Patriots, I think they took a step back. They could potentially be a last place team. And I think that the Jets have improved a little bit. I think the Jets could get off the hump and finish in third place. I mean, the Bills are still a first place team. I
Right.
mean, unless something crazy happens, they get a bunch of injuries,
Right.
then the Dolphins would potentially win there. I mean, as of right, if I had to make a call right now, I see the Dolphins no better than the 7th seed, but no worse than the 9th seed. So I think right now, like, they're borderline. So I think if they do make it, they'll be a 7 seed.
Probably get that last spot in the AFC playoffs.
Yeah, I feel like they're extremely close. That every time they're super close, they always blow it at the end.
Yeah,
Seems like the past couple seasons they get eliminated either the last day or the second to last game.
Yeah, it's almost like when you light a fuse on firecracker, but then it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't go. It's like a dud, you know.
Yeah. So if they stay healthy, if Tyreek Hill produces for them, and if they could upgrade their defense a little bit, I think they're a legitimate threat to at least get that final spot in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Well, you got
And then
the Ravens. You got the Ravens. You got the Broncos. You got the Dolphins. Who
Yep,
else?
I do have two names left. One of them, uh, I actually have the Colts that could potentially make it. They started off pretty strong, but then they just collapsed at the end. I think they were eliminated the last day of the season, if not mistaken.
I believe they were too. I mean, last
Yeah.
couple of years, it's been a big, pretty much been a two-team battle down in the AFC South between the Colts and the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
So the Colts could make it.
Yeah, yeah, that's always a two-team race. I mean, if they win the division, they obviously get in, but
Right.
if they come in second, then it's going to be a close call.
Yeah.
It all depends on who the better second place teams are. But they're
Right.
basically on the same path as the Dolphins. I think they're somewhere between a 7 and a 9. They're right on that scale there.
Yeah. So just take a little step up with the Colts, and they could be pretty good. I mean, they've been going nose to nose with Tennessee the last couple of years, as I said. So
Yeah.
see what happens
For
there. And one
for my
more.
last one, I'm definitely going to be a homer here. The Giants.
The Giants.
But only for one reason. It's kind of a silly reason. It's usually the most competitive division because there's always that division that you can never really predict who's going to win it.
Right.
And yeah, I like what the Giants did this offseason. But obviously the Cowboys and the Eagles, they countered what the Giants did. They all basically did the same work. So all three teams get an A in their draft,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I found that kind of interesting, and with everyone that the Giants did draft this past year, I was pretty impressed. I was like, maybe Danny Dimes could get a little bit more help.
Yeah, he's got a better offensive line now, and hopefully Barkley will be able to have a bounce back season.
Right.
And having a new coach, new GM, that's a step in the right direction.
Oh, absolutely.
And the guys came from Buffalo, and they were pretty solid over there.
Oh yeah. So bring the expertise from Buffalo, bring it to New York. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'd say the Giants are a dark horse to make the NFC playoffs.
Yeah. While I don't think they're going to make it, I think they're still a couple years away, but I think they're edging closer.
Right.
Because remember, our lists are more of a could, not so much a will.
Right.
The only one that really had that was a will was the Ravens. So yeah, I mean that's all the names that I had. I mean, if you don't have any more names, we could go to the opposite side now.
Well, I don't really have any other names for the teams that missed out that could make it this year.
Okay.
But I've got this. It's NFLSpinZone.com is where I got this information. These are now the teams that made the playoffs this year that will most likely miss out.
Oh, okay.
And the first team, we mentioned them just a little bit earlier. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, interesting.
It seems like they kind of backed their way into the postseason last year, and usually if a team backs their way into the playoffs, 9 times out of 10 they will not get past the wild card or the divisional round, depending on how they finish. Well, they're wild
Right.
card round anyway. So,
Mm-hmm.
and another subject that we'd be talking about here in the future shows during the offseason, teams, coaches on the hot seat. Mike Tomlin is definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So this is probably a make or break year for that guy. I mean, he's been coaching the Steelers. I don't know how long now. He's won a Super Bowl with them.
Mm-hmm.
He is a proven coach and one of the most likable coach that I've seen. I got all respect for him.
Yeah,
So
probably even a Hall of Fame coach.
hey, I can see that. But who is gonna be the starter for Pittsburgh? Will it be Mitchell Trubisky or Kenny Pickett?
Mhm.
Uh,
Is Mason Rudolph still there?
Mason Rudolph, I believe he is. I
Hmm.
believe Mason Rudolph is still in Pittsburgh. And this may sound crazy, but I kind of trust Rudolph over Trubisky. I never
Oh
did
yeah,
really. I never did.
absolutely.
I never did trust Trubisky when he was in Chicago.
Mm-mm.
So I can't really say much on that here. So that's the Steelers that may not make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
they were not on my list, but I could definitely agree with that. I think they're a third place team right now, so I don't see them getting in. I mean, they're definitely not better than the Ravens, that's for sure, and they're definitely not better than the Bengals. I mean, they could finish in last place if they're not careful.
yeah, they could. There's a team here that still has some issues with the quarterback and one of their big stars. The San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, interesting one.
Of course, there's the big question: is it going to be Trey Lance or is it going to be Jimmy Garoppolo? The Debo Samuel situation is still up in the air. Um, I don't know what's going to happen to this, but according to them, 49ers may miss out on the playoffs, but I
Hmm.
guess maybe it depends on Debo.
Yep. Yeah, probably really depends on who finishes in second place in that division. Because I think right now we could safely say the Rams are the clear-cut favorite to win
Right.
the division there, and the Seahawks are likely to finish in last place again, especially
See,
losing Russell Wilson. So they're rebuilding now.
yeah, and as I said sometime last season, uh, the Seahawks were probably the most disappointing team last season
Mm-hmm.
because of what they once used to be as the Legion of Boom. They've kind of just fizzled out a little bit,
Right.
and now Russell Wilson is now playing in Mile High.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Chris Carson's nursing an injury, so they're already down a running back.
already down. And we're just still waiting on if Debo wants to stay with 49ers or if he wants to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we'll keep everybody appraised on the Debo situation, but
Yeah.
just check ESPN, Fox Sports, all that stuff, and
Yeah. Yeah, and if
see
he's
what
smart enough,
happens there.
if he's smart enough, he'll stay because the 49ers still look pretty good. If he's smart, he stays.
If he's
'Cause they,
smart, he will stay.
yeah, say he's a two-way. He's even a two-way player. They could use him as a running. He could even do a little bit of running back in a pinch. We've seen him do it, catch passes and run the ball.
Yeah. Another team that made the playoffs this year that could miss out this year. A team that is kind of slowly kind of fading away. The era is about.
Let's take a hit on a pipe dream. Was it fate or mistake? Cause the time ain't up yet. Parts of my mind.
Yep.
Yeah, that's for our friend, our technical director, Irene Namer, who is somewhere. I don't know what she's doing, but we miss her here. But anyway, next team on my list is the New England Patriots.
Yeah, they're on my list as well.
Yeah, they suffered one of the biggest losses of any team in the 2022 offseason that no one's talking about. Josh McDaniel left as the offensive coordinator.
Ooh.
And I guess Bill Belichick maybe calling the plays. vying for a position. He has guys on his staff apparently vying for a position like Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. J.C. Jackson took off in free agency to join the Chargers. They kind of overachieved last year, but this website here kind of sees the Patriots just missing the playoffs for the first time in God, I don't know how long.
Yeah.
Because
I want to say 08 maybe. No,
08?
definitely 08, 09, something like that.
I think so, because with Brady coming up after the dismissal of Drew Bledsoe, he just took the ball and just ran with it and all that, won all those Super Bowls, and all of a sudden Brady's gone to Tampa Bay, and they got Mac Jones in there now. But I'm not sure if Mac Jones is the future for the Patriots as of right now.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, that's the name on the list I definitely can agree with. I can actually see them finishing in last place possibly, because I think that the Jets have improved a lot. This could finally be the year where the Jets don't finish in last. They could possibly be in third place.
That could be a huge improvement into itself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Don't finish that last, so we probably see maybe Bills, Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think
as of right now, I think that's going to be my prediction.
Yeah, and we have our divisional previews coming up. That'll be around maybe August.
Mm-hmm.
Probably somewhere like that. Let's see. Another team on this list made the playoffs last year, but probably will not go to the playoffs this coming year. The Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, interesting one. I forgot all about them. Yeah, that's definitely a good choice.
Yeah, James Bradbury. He left the Raiders. He signed a 1-year deal with the Eagles. They got A.J. Brown, James Bradbury, had Reddick, Jordan Davis, and others not inherently better. But the Raiders did have Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones. Right now, it says here, quote, I think the Raiders have a better shot at making the playoffs than teams like the Patriots, Steelers, Dolphins, Colts. But in order for them to make the playoffs, it's possible that teams in the AFC West will have to have 4 of the best records in the AFC total. So,
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, a lot of teams have to collapse. Some teams have to collapse late for them to make it, because right now I think the Broncos and the Chiefs are a clear 1-2 right now.
Yeah. Then probably the Chargers and the Raiders.
Yeah, yeah, the Chiefs and the Broncos would have to get like a bad luck of injuries for the other two to catch up.
Right. Let's see. The next team on the list, I mentioned them earlier, Tennessee Titans.
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. Mike Vrabel is a great coach who's done more with less, and Derrick Henry is a superstar, but that say luck runs out with probably Ryan Tannehill. I'm starting to. I don't know if I'm trusting him much. And what was it? That big free agent? Was it did he sign with the Titans, or was he with the Titans? Signed with someone else? Was it AJ Brown? Was it AJ Brown?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, AJ Brown did leave the Titans, but where did he go? That's what I'm trying to remember.
I want to say he went to Philly.
Philly, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, he went to Old Filthy. And and hopefully Derrick Henry. Hopefully I can get some better players under Ryan Tannehill instead of just putting all the weight on Derrick Henry. Even though Derrick Henry is a great stud running back, but anything
and he missed some time last year, didn't he? Towards the end of the season, didn't he?
I believe he did.
Yeah, he got overworked, I guess.
Yeah, I got a little bit overworked there. Another team that could miss the playoffs this year, the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh yeah, because of the division. It's a very stacked division.
Yeah,
It's
and
clearly a 3-team race.
they lost their pass rusher Chandler Jones, and then there's the Kyler Murray situation.
Yeah, and the DeAndre Hopkins for that matter. He's going to miss the first 6 games, I believe.
Oh yes, the DeAndre Hopkins thing. He's missing 6 games for
Something with drugs, I think.
what, PEDs or
Something like that. I think it's something drug related. I don't remember what it was
drug related. I
exactly.
don't know. Yeah, but yeah, with the Kyler Murray situation still up the air, losing Chandler Jones and the Hopkins situation. Hopefully, they can try to fix that. But right now, like I said, I'm saying the Rams are still the team in the NFC West.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. That's pretty much my list of teams that made it this year, that last year, that won't make it next year. So, did you have any matching teams for me?
Yeah. Oddly enough, on that list, we only had one name that matched. We only matched on the Patriots.
Really? So, who you got?
Let's see. All right, my next one. This is going to be more of a combo. I'm going to do more of a 2-in-1 because we addressed this earlier. How the NFC East is very hard to predict because over the years it's been all over the place.
And there hasn't been a repeat champion in that division since what, 2008?
I think so. I think when was it? Was that when it was either the Cowboys or the Eagles that went back to back? I forget who it was.
I can't remember, but it's been a different team for a long time now.
Yeah. Yeah. So my next one's gonna be more of a 2-in-1. I have both the Cowboys and the Eagles that could potentially miss simply because I think only one team, whoever wins the NFC East division, they're the only one that's going to make the playoffs. I think everybody else misses out. That's really my main reason why I listed those 2 teams.
Right.
Because it could go either way. And it's either going to be the Cowboys or the Eagles that's going to win the division. I think the rest could possibly miss out.
Right.
I think at one point didn't somebody win the division with just a 9-7 record? I think that happened one year.
I think that was before they were called the Commanders.
Yes.
They were called the football team.
Mm-hmm.
They won with that. They won with an awesome defense, which somehow just totally had the tires blown out last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's really the main reason why I listed those 2. It's not that they're a terrible team or anything, but it's just that division is so stacked it can go either way.
Right.
All right. I mean, this next one is going to be a little bit of a strange choice. This team, I don't think this team shouldn't really be worried, but if they're not careful, then they have something to worry about. I have the Chiefs. They are on my list. I'm not saying they're going to miss it. It's a could if they're not careful.
That's
because like we addressed it earlier, they losing Tyreek Hill. That's
lost Tyreek Hill. They lost Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah. So they don't have a good reliable number 1 right now. Wait, did Juju Smith-Schuster sign with the Chiefs?
Who?
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju, I believe he did. I'll have to.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, I think he did, and he'd replace Tyreek Hill possibly.
Yeah. Yes, he did sign with the Chiefs.
So yeah, he was a huge.
But the question is, how much does Juju have left? I mean, he was kind of sinking down a little bit in the last couple of years when he was still in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
So, just a question of what he can do if he can make a good connection with Patrick Mahomes. Like, of course, kind of like their best receiver, their tight end Travis Kelce. He's who of course is one of the best tight, probably the best tight end in the AFC.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Top 2.
Yes. And so because right now it's a 2-team race for that division there. Yeah, between the Broncos and the Chiefs. And the Broncos have a proven quarterback who's because if prior to last season, Russell Wilson has made the playoffs in every one of his years.
Right.
Yeah, that was the first time in his career that he missed the playoffs, and I don't think he wants to let that happen to him again. So I think he's going to be very competitive.
Yeah, he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder. I can
Yeah,
guarantee you that.
yeah. I mean, while I do think, well, if I had a call right now, I do think the Chiefs are safe. They'll probably make it, but as of right now, I don't see them winning the division. They're probably a wild card team, but they
Probably
could still win
wild
the division.
card,
I think that's still
yes.
very possible.
They could. It just yeah, that AFC West division will be interesting with that two-team race with Denver
Yeah,
and Kansas City.
yeah. I see right
That'll
now. I
be
see the Chiefs
very, very,
no worse than fifth.
that will be very interesting to see how those two teams do as the upcoming season goes on. So who else you got?
Yeah, and then the last name on the list, yeah, I mentioned the Cowboys and the Eagles. I did that as a 2-1 thing. Yeah, we mentioned
Yeah.
we both had the Patriots. I just said the Chiefs. And the last name on my list, yeah, they're basically in the same position as the Chiefs. I think they're still safe, but if they're not careful, they're gonna have a problem. The Packers.
The Green Bay Packers. Well, yeah. That
Yeah,
guy.
while I still think they're gonna win the division, if they're not careful, then I think the Vikings could make a push. Because weren't the Vikings on your list of teams that could make the playoffs?
Yeah, the teams that could make the playoffs this year, the Vikings were on that list. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I left the Vikings off mine. I probably should have put them in, but yeah, like I said, you guys have Packers lost to Devontae Adams, their main weapon, and
Right.
I mean Aaron Rodgers is aging. I mean he still has something left, but like you said, this is probably his last season.
Yeah. I could say
But
that, but
yeah, I do think they're still going to make the playoffs, but if they're not careful, then yeah.
yeah.
But I think
If
regardless if they make the playoffs or not, I think it will be Rodgers' final year.
yeah, probably be his last year. So right now, I say Green Bay is still kind of in the driver's seat, but they need to keep their eye on the Vikings
Yes.
because
Yeah,
right
the
now
Bears are taking a step back, so
Bears
I
are
don't think they have
taking
to
a
worry about the
step
other two.
back, and Detroit is pretty much been in neutral for the
Yeah.
longest time.
Yeah, so yeah, those two, the Packers don't have to worry about those two. They just have to worry about the Vikings. So that's about it.
Right.
Because yeah, the Vikings still have Justin Jefferson. He's still a solid receiver. Their
Oh
defense is
yes.
pretty
Oh yes.
respectable too.
Oh yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we got
Yeah,
some
so that's
very interesting two-team races in these divisions that'll be
oh yeah.
very interesting to keep our eyes on this year.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And yeah, there's still the offseason. Trades could very well be made. And obviously there's still
absolutely.
free agents out there.
There are still free agents out there. Are there any still on your list or
Not really. I mean, the only ones that we never really talked about were the kickers.
the kickers?
Because yeah, I honestly can't think of any team off the top of my head that's in need of a kicker right now.
Cowboys.
Let me see if they're still on my list. I know
Yeah,
Badgley
because
is
the
still out there.
Cowboys.
Mike Badgley's still out there. Elliott Fry, he's still out there.
Yeah, because the Cowboys did let go of Greg the Leg.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, now means
Yeah.
he's a free agent now too.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Cowboys.
unless Dallas digs into a college player, they could potentially get Badgley.
Could be.
Yes. He's had his moments with the Chargers. He's not terrible.
Okay. Well.
He's a respectable kicker.
Oh yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, I guess Greg was just missing just one too many field goals, and it was those field goals that could have made all the difference in their games.
Oh yeah.
Because it seemed like those Cowboys, those losses if they lose by 3 points or less, then we kind of go back to if he would have made the field goal, it probably would have been a different story. And that's how it pretty much was the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Especially last year when they opened the season at Tampa Bay.
Right.
Of course, this year they're opening the season against Tampa Bay. Of course, this time it's going to be at AT&T Stadium. So, so we'll just have to see what they decide to do if they want to get a free agent kicker or maybe draft one. Don't really know, but that's Right now, it's like the only team that I can think of that needs a kicker would be Dallas, but
Hmm.
I don't know of anybody else.
Yeah, as far as I know, everybody else has a kicker on their roster,
Right.
unless somebody gets cut during this ongoing off season. But yeah, like I
Hmm.
said, as of now,
True.
right now it's just the Cowboys.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless they dig into the college system, right now the best free agent kicker available would be Mike Badgley. It's either
All
him or
right.
Elliot Fry.
Okay. Well, anyway, I guess that's pretty much all we need to talk about. As far as our league is concerned right now, uh, we
Yeah,
just reactivated the league.
yeah, it's been activated,
Uh,
but yeah, no date set as of yet. And I do have to make the edits and remove the guy that was barely there. I'm going to
yeah,
work
the
on that
guy,
sometime this week.
yeah, he wasn't with us all season, but somehow he did not make any trades. He didn't make any roster moves, and he ended up becoming our league champion.
Yeah,
I still cannot imagine how you win a fantasy championship by doing
yeah,
absolutely nothing.
yeah. It was weird. If he was a different spot in the draft order, he wouldn't have won.
Maybe, maybe. Now, have you still decided to do like a draft lottery, or are we just going to draft based on overall records?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, I mean, since Ricky wasn't there, I probably have to. I'll probably do like a lottery, maybe like draw names out of like a hat or something. I'll probably one of these days get like sticky, like those sticky notes, like they're all the same size, so I'm not manipulating anything.
Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah, we gotta
take
make
a
it
stick.
things fair. I mean, I'm not saying that you're not gonna make things fair because
Yeah, I
you
know.
are a fair guy. You are
Yeah,
a fair guy. So
yeah. Basically, just get like piece of paper the same size, like index cards, sticky notes, that type of thing.
exactly.
Put into like a hat, shake it up, and then draw the name, and whoever like pops up gets the first pick, like that
Right.
type of thing. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to make that as a show yet, as part of the show, or well, actually, no. I probably maybe we should do
We
that.
could
Make it
probably
in a
do
show.
it as part of a show. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll kind of do it like a side thing after we do some main stuff, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. That's what I meant. It'll be on camera, but not recorded or something. I think that's what you meant, right?
I think it'd be kind of interesting to have it on the show.
Okay. Yeah, we'll incorporate it.
I think it'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, maybe during one of the was it maybe one of the fantasy ranking shows in August. Maybe we'll do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we get all the signups and whatnot, then we'll go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. But like I said, we still got a lot to talk about. We got 20 fantasy questions. We've like 20 questions.
Yeah, I have that. I have that calendar I sent you guys right now. I mean, we don't necessarily have to do it in not that order necessarily. We'll figure out what we want to do. That's just as a guide.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to play 20 questions here.
Hmm.
As this offseason goes on, we're going to do power rankings
Right.
based on positions. Head coaches on the hot seat. We mentioned one earlier, but I'm sure there's a few more.
Yep.
Of course, we have our
Yep.
divisional predictions.
Yep. The 4-week series.
Yes, and we'll do playoff predictions, and we're just getting closer and closer. But y'all just stay tuned to the YouTube right here, and y'all be sure to listen to John Flynn with Hooked on Sports. Click on one of the links in the description area, and you'll get some good stuff from John Flynn. So, so Natalia, anything else before we put a bow on this thing?
No, I think you basically covered everything. Yeah. So I mean, we don't have a 100. We haven't decided 100% what we're going to do yet, but yeah, you'll find out soon. Well, we'll have to ask the crew what they want to do next.
All right. Well, we'll take care of everybody. We'll get everybody in the league to discuss what they're going to do. But anyway, I think that will do it for this edition of Fantasy Football Fever.
If anybody has any names that we missed that either could make it or miss out, let us know in the comments too.
Oh yes. Put your comments in there. What teams that made the playoffs last year could miss out this year, and the teams that
Mhm.
missed out last year, who do you think will make it this year? What are your picks? We want you to know in the comment section below, and we'll just see how we compare. So our commissioner, John Natale, thanks for joining me, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll schedule another show, maybe either this Friday or next Friday. I'll let everybody know so we can plan ahead a little bit.
Mhm.
But anyway, John Flynn, wherever you are, hope to see you soon. Irene Namer, my technical director, doing okay. Nick Dennison, who's part of us, and everybody else in our league, and thank all of you for joining us. So I guess we'll just go ahead and put a wrap on this thing. For John Natale, I'm Tim McClellan. Thanks for joining us. God bless everyone, and as always, be a good sport. See ya.
15 seconds to air. Stand by, all cameras.
Ready with slow motion and isolated cameras.
Stand by, videotape, and rotate.
And tape is rolling in less than 5, in 3, 2, 1.
Take tape.